Welcome everybody to What's Up Bull Time. Fernando Ramirez. Right off the bat, I know it's an early show, but Dan and I, this is the only time we're able to do this week. And I know Angel and some other people were kind of saying, "Hey, what's up with What's Up Bolts? Why haven't you guys shown up?" So we definitely apologize. Obviously, it's our Chargers mini camp wrap up. Obviously, the Chargers did it before everybody else. Senor Vive Moi, Angel, appreciate it. Yeah, no, I said it because you told us, Angel, we are here. This is the only time that Dan and I have to do this because I have a story to write for Sunday's paper for the San Diego Union Tribune, so make sure you guys check that out. I have a story to write. I have some interviews. Dan's coaching, doing his thing. So yeah, we're gonna do a Chargers minicamp wrap up. As you guys can tell in the headline, Herbert's intensity. That's been a very big topic of conversation this week. Last week was a big topic of conversation. Oronde Gadsden, is he gonna be that X factor that we saw from Tar Heap Steel in 2024? Is he the new one this year? We're going to talk about that. And then the Chargers return to San Diego. We have to get into that. Obviously, Dan and I are both from San Diego, so we got to get into that and just talk a little bit about what this means ultimately and why Jim Harbaugh was not too happy with the question that I asked him on that day. So all right, let us get into it. We will have Dan in momentarily. All right, let's go with the intro.
Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So where's Compas?
Yeah, we are.
There you go.
Hey.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Dago is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7th-rounder. So
Freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
Guys, I know typically we do this around 4 o'clock. So thank you guys so much. Like I mentioned on during the intro, this is the only time that Dan and I kind of have our schedule synced up. By the way, folks, this weekend, we will be talking to multiple Charger former players, current players, going to some camps over the weekend, going to be throwing out a lot of good content. So whether it be here on, I think it'll be on here, but on What's Up Bolts, make sure you guys check out some of these interviews. We're going to have some really cool interviews coming up. Dan and I are going out there Saturday and Sunday. So make sure you guys check out all these interviews that we have lined up for this weekend. So yeah, got some good content, but let us bring in the man of the hour to talk about, let's wrap up minicamp the correct way.
There we are. How the hell are we doing, everybody? A little bit of Friday action at 11 a.m. How's everybody doing? Good to be here. Got my Coke Zero rolling. Got a nice little 3-day weekend my way, so things are looking up.
Well, that's what I was telling folks, is that we apologize. Obviously, last week was too crazy and hectic. This week was crazy as well. And then obviously next week, we're off on Compas on the beat, but Gilbert and I will be at the Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight. So a lot of craziness going on this weekend. You and I are going to be at a couple of camps. So again, folks, make sure you guys check out. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff.
Senor Viva!
So make sure you guys are ready to go. Dan, obviously, what was the big thing about minicamp was this was going to be the first. Charlie, how are you doing? This was going to be the first time that we spoke to Justin Herbert after what happened in Houston. I mean, he spoke to the media after the game and everything, but we didn't speak to him in his locker after in the exit interviews. We hadn't spoken to him all off season, and this was going to be the first chance to speak to him. Pretty down the middle. Yeah, I mean, we just got to get better, got to flow. The only questions that he really got into were about some of the players that he's excited about. Oronde, Amarian, guys like that. So Trey Harris, having Mike Williams, he was very excited. You could tell he kind of got a smile on his face when we spoke about Mike Williams coming back and everything. And you could tell he's just really excited. Now, obviously, speaking about the Houston game, this is what Justin had to say last Wednesday when he spoke to the media.
We haven't talked to you in obviously several months since the season.
Oh, damn you.
Oh, stupid commercials.
Dad, come on.
I'll just jump in real quick.
Okay, hold on.
Angel saying no one took the loss harder than Herbert. 100%. You know what I mean? He's the face of the franchise. I think, he's tired of hearing that narrative about him, I'm sure. The can't win a playoff game and all this other stuff. So, of course, he's super pissed, super disappointed in himself and the team. But you know what I mean? I think the team's going to be a lot better this year. And like I've been saying all offseason, you have to make the divisional round or it's a wasted year. It's not a year for a wild card anymore. All right, here we go.
How did you go about processing that game in Houston and taking that into the offseason in your work?
I think just like every other loss, you take a look at what you did wrong, what you did, right, and you try and improve. And if I spend any more time, worrying or focusing on a loss like that, I think I'm doing a disservice to my teammates. Obviously it didn't go the way we wanted to, like I said at the end of the year. But you got to move on, and you got to take a look at what you did wrong, be honest with yourself, be critical, but you can't let it take up too much of your time.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So obviously, well, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say exactly. Like the rear view mirror in a car is the smallest for a reason. You see it, you got it, process. You don't need, the $200 an hour person to talk to you about horse shit. You don't need it. Just move on. That's all you do. You watch the film. It is what it is. You get with your coaches, and I like what Charlie's saying here. Hold on. If Gadsden, Harrison, Hampton hit the ceiling, it's incredibly high. Like, if they get another 3 or 4 starters, well, actually, they probably should at least get one in Hampton, but they get at least another 3 or 4 starters after this draft class, you know what I mean? That's going to be huge in terms of filling out this roster and everything else.
This team has too many H's on their team, by the way. There's a lot of H's. Harbaugh, Herbert, 2 Herberts, 2 Harrises, Hampton. Like, there's just so many H's on this team.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of names start with J. So
it's hilarious
in it. But no, and what Charlie's saying is correct. I mean, those guys, and then like we said, if you don't have to revert back to Mike being a complete starter, like he can come in and out in the big spots, and you kind of pick and choose when Mike is in there. I mean, that's kind of what you want. And we've been saying it all off season is that, Jim, Joe Hortiz, those guys sat down and they analyzed that Houston game. They analyzed that Baltimore Ravens game, and they analyzed that Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. And they must have been like in those, we only got dominated in 3 games last year. Those were the 3 games. What do all 3 of those teams have? Physical, aggressive, and they're kind of a mirror of what their head coach is. And I know there's a lot of talk about the head coach down in Tampa Bay. Dan, I'm
Todd
blanking
Bowles.
on it. Todd Bowles. Thank you. Todd Bowles, though, as a defensive coordinator, is aggressive. His offense was aggressive. I mean, they're a physical football team, as are the Baltimore Ravens and as are the Houston Texans. So I'm sure they analyze those games. Now, I know there's a lot of frustration with the center and guard. And Dan, the 3 days that we were there, it was one day it was Zion at guard or at center. The other day it was and the same day it was Bradley Bozeman at guard, and then they were just switching off. And that's kind of the thing, because I mean, we've spoken about it with Gilbert before. When they have to switch you positions, that's when you're kind of like teetering on, okay, this is your last hope. Is this what you're going to be? I personally, as of right now, believe it's going to be Zion at center and Bradley Bozeman at left guard. Now, the only thing that could maybe hamper that is the emergence of their 6th round pick, Taylor. I'm blanking on the
On the
name
I'll
right
look it
now,
up
but
for you.
if he's able to Branson Taylor is able to emerge during camp and have a good camp, then maybe that throws a wrench in their plans. But as of right now, I feel like that's what you're going to see. You're going to see Mekhi Beck, or you're going to see from left to right. You're going to see Rashawn Slater, Bradley Bozeman, Zion, Mekhi Becton, and then obviously Joe Walt with 3 out of the 5 position. I mean, you have pretty good players, but fans have been saying it. You're one Mekhi Becton injury away from being reverted back to the offensive line of last year. The offensive line that, if you watch those 3 games we just mentioned, Herbert takes a beating in those games.
Yeah.
And that's just not what you want anymore. You don't want Herbert to take a beating. I know the weapons have improved, but the offensive line is going to need to step up and be a lot better than what they have been. And it's going to all start up front. And like you've said it, Dan, and I know people, Eric, Hilberto, a lot of people call you a Neanderthal, but I'm
a caveman. I'm a caveman.
If the offensive line is great, then this offense isn't going to have any problems. And the problem and the issue is too, now you have 2 solid running backs that, well, I mean, one of them is still a question mark just because you don't know what he's going to be. But you're
first round pick, though. Let's just say you expect him to start or get.
But Najee is a guy who he just came from a system in Pittsburgh where he said, "I'm going to be honest, we didn't have an offensive identity. There was a lot of questions about what we were doing, and now here, obviously, you're going to have more of a structure because Jim." And Greg Roman, you already know what they want to do. They want to run the football. If Herbert could pass 15 to 20 times a game, and this offense has 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, and Herbert only touched the ball or only threw the ball 15 to 20 times, they'd be happy. And that's not a
winning football.
Like, you don't need Herbert to light it up. You just need the team to win football games and be physical.
Exactly.
So, that was kind of their MO. Even in when they were in San Francisco, that's what it was. I mean, remember, J.J. McCarthy on their way to a national championship, there was a game where he didn't touch the ball. He didn't throw the football in the second half of a game.
Oh, at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that's the MO.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what I mean. Like if their quarterback can if he can't be touched and he doesn't take a beating, they're going to be happy about that. And last year, Justin's elusiveness got him out of a lot of situations, but this year, they're gonna have to take that next step. Are they ready to take that next step? It looks like they are on defense. It looks like with the receiving group, yes, but offensive line is still my biggest question mark when it comes to this team, because essentially you brought back all your offensive linemen from last year, and you just added Mekhi Becton, and you Branson you drafted, but there should have been a little bit more attention put to the offensive line in my belief, and I still believe that I still think Rashawn's going to get done before the season.
Yeah, they probably couldn't find anyone
that I think they're working out, but I think that'll get done. But again, that left guard and center position are the 2 positions where I think this season, this offense's productivity is going to depend on that left and center position.
100%, because like, again, like I'll just go real quick talking about that because I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but 2 things. One, if you already struggle blocking, run game, pass game, whatever it is, and now you add snapping to it where it essentially takes away half of your body because you have to snap the football. So you have to have good positioning with, basically one hand until your snap hand can come back up to engage the defender. That's not easy to do. So, who knows how much better it's going to get if you put them there. And, on top of that, like, I want to say for the last maybe 2 or 3 seasons, Herbert hasn't even been 100. Well, I understand nobody's 100% all the time, but like Herbert's had lingering injuries in the season. Could you imagine what an effective run game will do if he has no rib issue, no hand issue, no leg issue, or whatever it was? And Herbert's, relatively at 80 to 90%, like, you know what I mean? He's going to play a lot better. He's going to feel a lot better. And the sky's the limit at that point. What you can't do is trot him out there to take beatings like he has in the past, because that's not a good idea, and that doesn't spell for success. So
part of me last year,
that's why I can't wait till training camp. Like, I hate all this t-shirt shit. I just want to start watching. I want to watch them in pads and see how everything's going. Obviously, Well, I guess you don't really see it in preseason, but I want to just get to football, man. I'm tired of this.
I'll tell you one
offseason.
thing: the Hall of Fame game, I think, is going to show us maybe like Branson Taylor is going to be a guy that's going to probably get a lot of playing time in that game. There's going to be some guys that are going to get some playing. I know a lot of people say the fourth preseason game is gone now. How are players going to be able to show their worth? Well, for the Chargers this year, they're going to get that fourth preseason game. That's going to be the game where guys are going to be able to show what they have. Last year, Harbaugh told us, the media, in minicamp what his offensive line was going to be. Part of me thinks that this isn't going to be the offensive line for some reason. Something tells me that last year he said it. This year, because I think last year he didn't have a choice. Like those guys were already on the team.
Yeah, obviously.
This year they have a lot more of a choice. For some reason, I don't feel like that's going to be the starting five.
Yeah.
Something tells me that
I wouldn't doubt that he's playing some psyops. And he's like, okay, whatever's open in the media, let's just keep it like this. Because you guys don't watch the whole t-shirts, no?
Wait, what?
You guys only watch half the practice, right?
No. During minicamp, we watched the whole thing.
Oh, you watched the whole thing? Yeah. Oh, okay. So maybe just what they show you guys is one thing, and then we'll see what happens in training camp. But I wouldn't doubt that he's playing some psyops like that just to keep everybody on their toes.
And then for me, like I know during training camp, like I wonder if Harbaugh is going to take the approach that he did last year with JK and Gus. I know both of them had injuries, but I wonder if Najee and Omarion. Well, Omarion's a rookie, so I guess you have to have him go. But I wonder if Najee is going to take that much of a if he's going to play that much during training camp because of, hey, you know what? You're a running back. You're a workhorse. You don't miss any games. Let's wait until later to kind of we're going to find increments to put you in, but we're not going to make you practice the whole training camp.
Yeah.
Like last year, they were very, very picky, choosy with JK and Gus.
Yeah.
And that gave more of an opportunity for Kamani Vidal and Jared Patterson and all these other guys to kind of get some reps. I wonder what way Harbaugh is going to decide to do that aspect of it. Blue Dream said, guys, would you play?
Oh, good. I wanted to talk about
that at some point. I would. It's always a second game now. It used to be
I would too. Yeah.
But now I think it's the second game.
I'd probably give him the first quarter.
Yeah, like the whole first quarter. Well, last year I remember in the first what's it called? In the first preseason. No, there was one preseason game where Justin and the offense drove up the field and they scored a touchdown, and Harbaugh was like, okay, I've seen enough. Don't need it anymore. Boom, get him out of there.
Yeah.
So, but this year is going to be a lot different because there's a lot more there's a lot more guys that they need familiarity with. So I definitely think that they're going to try and remember last year, actually, no, yeah. Did Herbert make it to a preseason game last year? Crap,
I don't think he played. I don't think he
played.
I don't remember. I don't think.
I was thinking about the Brandon Staley. No, Brandon Staley, they never played. Yeah, no. So my bad.
My thing is, I would play him for sure at least a week or two before the regular season starts, because you need that game speed. There's nothing. Practice can't simulate the game speed. So I just think you do. Obviously you pick and choose, who it is or when it is, but I think you need the game speed. And going over to Angel, do you think Hampton plays the Hall of Fame game? I'd probably play him. If not that one, another one, because again, that's a guy going from college to the NFL. He's going to need as many reps of game speed as possible to try and get acclimated, in my opinion. Obviously it depends what you see in training camp and everything else, but there's nothing wrong when you're making that transition, getting the more reps possible. Obviously you don't want him to get hurt and you can pick and choose, but I think he will play. Just, you got to limit his touches, like Senor Vivmois says, but calculated amount, 100%.
I hate
you
how
have
all
to.
these. Oh my bad, go ahead. Sorry.
Robert D, what's up?
I hate
you
that
have
all
to.
these years have meshed up for me now, and I can't remember.
I can't keep him straight.
I know that
Especially
Herbert had the
so
foot thing
shitty.
last year. Like I know he had the foot thing last year. I just can't remember if he played in a preseason game, but no, he did not. So yeah, no, they. Well,
I think it was lingering going into the season. That's why he didn't.
Well, no, they didn't know if he was gonna. Well, not they. The rest of like everybody else didn't know if Herbert was going to play in that first game. Herbert's like, yeah, I'm playing, and he did play. But I just, and then they have on August 13th they have a joint practice with the Rams, so that's the thing. We don't know what Harbaugh's going to decide to do with Herbert in the preseason games because last year he didn't have him. It was Easton Stick, Luis Perez, and Max Dugan that took all the records. Taylor Heineke they didn't trade for until the week of before the game, so the first game. So Pablo, how are you doing? Sub Dan, Fernando, are you guys heading to the Paradise Point July 12th? What is that, Pablo? What is that? Is that like a meet and greet for fans or what is that? I hadn't heard of that. Blue Dream says I think Mackay signing was the whole answer, boys. Trey was the problem. Now he was replaced. The rest of it is just part of the process. Seems to me.
Let's hope so. I hope
that being open was the prime culprit, hence the major overhaul with the weapons. No, that definitely was. I mean, it's crazy that also, Dan, you don't have time to be getting sick. Virgil's on the loose in a real way these last couple of dude.
Never. Yeah, he's been ripping it. He's been ripping it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn.
Yeah, the heel has been coming out lately.
Yeah.
So.
He's tired. He's tired of this offseason too. He's alive.
Dude, he got shitted on by Raider fans.
Oh, that was hilarious.
See, I was surprised when he said the Raiders or the Giants are better than the Raiders. I'm like, I don't think I could say that. Like, I still think the Raiders are good. So, but
well, yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's funny.
I love hitting on them too.
Derwin was asked about it, about the way Herbert played, or like well, you'll hear the question. I don't want to like put words in anybody's mouth, but this is the way what he was asked.
Confidence, Justin's the guys around him. He's getting them in line. I mean, the line's doing what they need to do. So I feel like he's that commander out there, and he's taking charge of the offense.
Has he changed it all? I mean, he had a kind of it was a bad game in the playoff game.
Damn you people!
Does he use that as motivation? Can you see a different person from him after that?
I wouldn't say he had a. I wouldn't say he taking it as a bad game. I feel like Justin's a competitor. We all taking it as we didn't finish how we wanted. I don't think no player or coach who was on his roster taking it as, oh, he had a good game, I had a bad game. We all lost together, and I feel like we all working towards to get back in that same situation and get it done this year.
I love that. You could tell, there's certain times where you could tell the players are buying into what coach has said, and I'm sure Harbaugh said that at some point. It's just always great to hear. But like, again, like this is I'm not gonna rehash the whole thing because of course I'm not gonna work myself up at fucking 11:30 in the morning. But if you are a football person and you watch the tape on that game, like I never understand how people say that was all Justin Herbert's fault. Like unbelievable to me, dude. I think the pick six was popped up to the guy running like already in this direction. He had two picks popped up. Receivers were getting zero separation, dropping passes left and right. Like if you seriously see that 80-yard touchdown by Ladd, he literally said probably fuck it and just slinged it in there as hard as he could. Like if you see the window, it's so tight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so whatever. I'm not going to work myself up. It's just crazy to me, dude. This guy is like the second coming of, well, he could be the second coming of Brady, in my opinion, but just the franchise has to live up. And
I think he'd be more Peyton Manning than like
if we're even Peyton or even Peyton.
Yeah. So he obviously the intensity about him has been heavily asked about the last couple of days of minicamp. He basically, we've seen the intensity before. I mean, with Bradley Bozeman last year, I remember he yelled at him and he's like,
oh,
yeah. And then he's like, God damn it. Like,
yeah.
He's a competitor. I mean, that's the thing. And that's why when I hear, oh, he's, what's it called? He's an introvert. He's this, he's that. That's not who I've seen. That's not who
horse
I've
manure.
interacted with. And I
Horse
can't believe
manure.
5 years after the draft, we're still saying that he's an introvert. He's
These
not.
people are losers. They're
Like, you
scum of
speak
the
to
earth.
and that's the thing. A lot of the people saying that he's an introvert and stuff are the people that aren't around every single day. It's the national people, it's other people, and it's like you talk to the players and you my bad. You speak to the right players, and the right players tell you exactly who he is. And that's the thing. I just can't believe 5 years after the draft, we're still talking. Like, people are still like bringing it up. I'm kind of like, well, that's not what I've gotten. Like last year, I think after the Broncos game, him and I had a 20-minute conversation just at his locker, just chatting about shoes and other stuff. And you get into other topics, and he just really is. Blue Dream. I'm gonna play. Well, might as well should just play it now for Dan. Everybody duck. Make sure
said something or what?
Make sure you guys all duck. I'm sure we're not going to be happy after he sees this.
What is your question about Justin Herbert?
Justin Fields. Oh, okay.
I don't have. Okay, I'll say this. I think the only question that I would have is, can Justin Herbert really step out of his shell? Because he's predominantly a quiet guy. Can he step out of his shell and bring the guys around him, their level of play up? Because I think what it is, he's a talented quarterback. I mean, he has the mindset, he has the skill set. But I think when it comes to clutch moments, a quarterback has to make the guys around him believe that anything is possible. He has to be vocal about it, throughout the entire season. And it's time for him. I understand there's so many question marks because they expected this out of him for years now. So I think this is the year.
And look at the graphic underneath.
Get it done.
Why does that matter? Why can't he be a quiet quarterback?
It's a blue 27
Can you explain that
lead,
a little bit for me?
And then threw 4 interceptions.
So when you have a guy next to you like Tom Brady, right? It's a privilege. And it's a privilege to be in the game with the guy. And clutch moments, if you ever watch Tom Brady, he's only throwing it to certain guys. And because they've been consistent throughout the season, they're trustworthy, and they've practiced those reps over and over. And for a guy to come in, they want to earn the quarterback's trust. Because when it comes to clutch moments, if I only, as a quarterback, if I only have to give it to one guy, and that's the only let guys know, hey, I need you to step yard this play, and I didn't get it. I was jogging off the field thinking everything was all right. I'll get another opportunity. And Tom Brady let me have it. He told me.
I'm not even going to respond to that. That is about some dumb shit I've ever seen. No wonder, because I saw someone quote tweet that, and they put a play where Herbert throws it to him, and I think he pops it up, and it gets intercepted. Yeah. But it's just horse. Yeah, I don't blame you, Robert G. I've seen her in person, so I'll just leave it at that. What was I going to say? It's just idiotic to me, especially like Kay Adams' phrasing with their producer being like, oh, blue 27-point lead. Oh, okay. So he plays defense also, apparently now. And on top of that, it's not like in the second half, Lombardi was calling the greatest game. Obviously the players out there still have to make plays and everything else, but, coaching does play a factor.
Well, even in the first half, they settled for 2 field goals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. On top of that,
and they were in the red zone and settled for 2 field goals.
Exactly. And on top of that,
and the Money Badger missed a field goal as well late in the game.
Yeah, it was like before halftime, I think.
No. He missed it during, I think, in the second half.
Stupid ass was worried about trademarking his stupid nickname. I wonder how that's going for him now, but whatever. I'm not going to rehash the past. The only thing I'm going to say is it's just so funny to me. Like, why do we never bring up the game he had against the Raiders? I think it was the tie game. Like, everyone just remembers, oh, they lost to the Raiders. Oh, they lost. Dude, the guy came back. They were playing like dog shit that game. On 4th and 30, he scores it. He converted, I think, 2 4th and 30s or some shit like that. Like,
he converted he converted 8 4th downs in that game.
8 4th downs in that game. Dude, he scored off a 4th and 30 and threw a piss missile at Mike. Like, what are we talking about? It's just unbelievable to me, really. Like, the way I always describe this, okay, and this is before Harbaugh. The way I always
And the problem is he's
describe
comparing him to Brady. Like that's just you don't do
the guy's
that.
an idiot. The guy's an idiot. That's why they put idiots on idiot shows. Kay Adams putting her little stupid thing down there. Really?
Okay.
What are we talking about? That's pure propaganda. It's horse manure. Like, I don't understand if maybe he told her to get away from him or what, and now she's pissed and trying to get it back. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, what are we talking about? The way I always describe it, okay? Similar to what's it called? And this is before Harbaugh, so I'm gonna say this before Harbaugh. Similar to the whole Rivers thing with that quarterback class, because they always talk about them. Rivers was the better quarterback over Eli and Ben Roethlisberger. I think that's undisputed. He was the better quarterback. He just went to the shittiest franchise out of the three, and that's why he never won Super Bowls. Like, let's be real about that. Like, that's what happened. You know, similar also now to Justin Herbert pre-Harbaugh. The franchise is the franchise. We've all seen it. I mean, shit, I don't know what else to say. Like, now that he actually has, you know, his own version of Marty Schottenheimer, let's see what he can do. But you got, you know, GMs getting Notre Dame players in the first round who D tackles, who I don't even know what his attractiveness was in the draft. I don't even understand how he got billed that high. You know, you have guys who never make it out of round 2 or 3 on the team. And this guy in his first draft has 5th and 6th rounders who are starting.
And don't forget, there's guys, Junior Colson and other guys who we still don't know exactly what they're going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yet, so I'm tired of all this bullshit of Herbert. I don't understand it. Yeah, well, yeah, I agree with this. I like this too. I would take Herbert over everybody in the league today. Brady's not in the league. I would take Herbert over everyone in the league today. They're Precious Mahomes, the bleached-haired Burrow, obviously the MVP running back Lamar Jackson, who else? Josh Allen. I would take Herbert over all these guys.
Jayden Daniels.
That guy, we'll see his sophomore slump, but we'll see how that happens. But you know what I mean? Like, the difference is, again, and I've been saying this since the beginning, but no one listens because they're too stupid. They don't want to know the truth. When you look at guys like Lamar, when you look at guys like Pat, when you look at guys like well, I guess Josh Allen and Burrow.
Well, they've all had the same quarter or the same.
They've all had the same head coach, and they've had consistent building towards something. Maybe except the Bengals, because that one's kind of been up and down, but that's a different story.
But he still had the same head coach.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Herbert is on it. Oh, and then that was my favorite. They try to paint Herbert as the coach killer. Like, yeah, sure, that's what that guy does out there. But Herbert's on his like 3rd or 4th head coach.
3rd.
4th or 5th offensive coordinator.
4th.
So what are we even talking about? Like, in my opinion, the guy switching so much coaching and off, like at the coordinator position and at the head coach position, still having as much success as he's had. Why don't we talk about that? What he did last year, throwing only 3 interceptions in the season. With the talent he had out there, are you serious? So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to.
Real quick.
I'm like Jose Mourinho. I talk and I get in trouble. I don't know.
So it's at Paradise Point in Mission Bay. Pablo, the only reason why Dan and I may not be there, I think that's the same day as the day on Henley camp. And we usually go to the day on Henley camp. So I don't know yet which way I'm gonna go, but if we do go out there, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah. We gotta go to that place again by St. John Bosco. That was damn.
Oh yeah, that place was really good. I was at the Cardinal game last year. Colson looked like he was out of the element chasing down Murray. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, Pablo. And the thing is that Junior barely, remember, he had appendicitis during camp or right before training camp. He barely had a training camp.
He was trying to get out of practice? That's crazy.
Huh?
No, I was joking. I was like, he's trying to get out of practice? That's crazy.
So obviously Herbert's intensity is something that everybody wants to, and if he could get the full training camp this year, I think that'll definitely be good for him.
Exactly.
With all
exactly, Robert M. Exactly.
Going to Oronde Gadsden, I was kind of watching him in practice just to see what he's like. Obviously, his blocking, I mean, and they're still in t-shirts, but blocking is going to be kind of an issue for him, I'm sure. But man, he did a 20-yard wheel route. He was catching everything. He really is him. And I saw a little bit of Trey Harris. I thought Trey Harris looked good as well, but and then Ladd was just catching everything thrown his way. It didn't matter if it was on the ground. I know Dayon disputed one of those because Ladd caught one in the end zone, but he caught it like way down here. And Chris and Rim and I both thought it was a touchdown. And Dayon's like, no, he dropped it. That's his first drop. So they were disputing that. But Oronde just seems like he could be one of those hidden gems that these guys just I know it's only been one draft and now going into their second one, but Oronde just looks like a ball player and he looks like, because remember, he's a 6'5" receiver converted to a tight end, and last year was his only season as a tight end, so he's still going to be learning on the fly, but he just looks like he might be a mismatch. He's pretty fast. I was very surprised at his speed and was kind of taken aback by it. So yeah, no, they look like they might have gotten something out of him, but Oronde is one of these guys that I think a lot of Charger fans are going to get very excited about when they go to camp and they watch. And obviously, you needed to get better at the tight end position. You bring in Tyler Conklin. You still have Will Dissly, and I know a lot of fans are frustrated, especially after that Houston game, about Will Dissly. But I mean, last year he proved in the first 3 months of the season that he was he had some good catches from Herbert. So if you have those three as your main tight ends, those guys are going to be they all do something different, but they all are going to bring something valuable to the team. But I just think that from last year's tight end group to this year's, I think it's a vast improvement. And again, we still haven't seen Oronde play with pads on, but as of right now, I totally think all three of these guys are way better than what the Chargers had last year. I mean, you kind of, if you put the two depth charts of offense and offense last year and offense this year, they're going to look completely different. So they are going to have, it's going to be interesting. Again, I still have question marks about the way these guys are going to do things this year. Greg Roman, I think this is a big year for him. He needs to really show that he needs to step out of that box and be able to do what he showed at times last year of what he did. But I definitely think that the offense should be much improved, especially with some of the weapons that they added. But again, another thing that would make me question some stuff is that they're really counting on a lot of youth to step up. And like last year, they counted on when Christian Fulton and Asante Samuel Jr. went down. That's when Cam Hart and Tarheeb still stepped up and played a lot better. Now, my question is, are some of these young pieces on that offense, are they going to be able to step up and rise to the occasion? So that's kind of one of my the offensive line and the youth on this team, are they going to be able to step up? Those are my two biggest questions when it comes to the offense. But Harbaugh's gambles have last year, a lot of them worked. I mean, some of these nobody knew who Poona Ford was, except for Eric was the one that told us. Remember that? Eric was like, hey, this guy that they have, Poona Ford, I remember him in Seattle. He's a difference maker. And yeah, he turned out to be a very good piece. They've gone to go sign other guys for that defensive line. They lost one and they drafted one and they signed two of them. So cut off its head and two
more shots take its place.
So that's exactly what the Chargers are kind of doing. They lost a player, they go get two more of them. So they lost Dante Jackson they lost Christian Fulton in free agency. They went and they got Dante Jackson and they're mixing and matching. They got a lot of and then they got Benjamin as well out of the Commanders. So yeah, no, this team has depth that I don't think we've seen in a long time. Dan. The depth
can't
on
wait.
this team is pretty good.
Let's get to pads. I can't wait, dude. I'm tired
Hey,
of all this.
it's coming, and they're
No
coming.
more t-shirts.
They're coming here. Dan, real quick, your boy, number 52, returned to the
Madao.
Chargers. This is what he had to say about why he decided to return to the Chargers.
I was just talking to Nick about this. It's just that feeling. You know, you're chasing that feeling of wanting to win important games deep in the season. And so, being that I haven't reached that point yet, I couldn't give up on that dream and that goal for myself and for this franchise.
Why did you think you why here?
Why here? I mean,
You can talk to him.
I mean, technically no, but you know, yeah, technically no, but he said, yeah, technically no, but technically no, but yeah, I mean, why not here, man? Got tremendous leadership here. Talking about the players in the locker room, man. I've been talking about that. I was talking about that last year, and just knowing what you're stepping into. Being very familiar with the guys that we have already here, and knowing what Coach Harbaugh is building and what Joe is building. Yeah, man, it was a no-brainer.
So for you, there sounds like there wasn't much consideration anywhere else. Right?
I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't, but at the same time, it was also, you know what I'm saying, I had to kind of be fair in the approach to things and not making it about just finances and all the different things, you know what I'm saying? Try to make it more so about just winning ball games.
Babe, were you talking to that girl? Technically, no. Technically, no.
100%, man. I hope they can get it done for these guys.
Who do you think this is?
Is that scumbag? All of a sudden, he's
No.
awake on a Friday?
I think this was a nice, I don't know. I mean, because Vic is a kind-hearted
I don't think it would be him.
I think Vic would have sent a really nice message,
you guys are doing great.
That.
Something
This
like
is
that.
more of a command.
Exactly, like a scumbag, like turning the knife a little bit, getting in there.
I thought it was very positive for a good step in the right direction. I remember fans were frustrated because the Chargers hadn't done anything the first few hours or days of free agency, and then boom, Khalil Mack returns, and that is huge for this team, especially because, oh wow, yeah, hey, tell him, Dan, get him in here.
Where's Alberto? In hell, get him in here. Jump in if he wants to. If he's commenting in there, bring it. Do I have to? Is it like Beetlejuice? Have to say his name twice or three times?
This is interesting. Will you consider Khalil Mack a Charger if he ends his career with a Super Bowl?
I'll consider Khalil Mack right now as a Charger. What am I going to think of him as? A Bear? Yeah, right.
You know what's crazy? I think his stats. I think he's played less years with the Chargers, but his stats have been up there. Compared to his other two stops, his stats are pretty even with that.
Well, I think
at
Bears,
one point,
I think with the Bears,
if he wins one with them, I think it
retires jersey for all I care. I don't care.
But going back to the Khalil Mack retention, it was key. They needed it. They needed Khalil Mack back. Khalil Mack is a big part of this defense. He's a leader. Guys, when he first got to the Chargers and he was taking guys out to go to dinner and everything, that's an expensive bill during training camp and during the season. That's a hefty bill, but that's what he wants to do. He wants to go out with his teammates. He wants to spend time. He wants to integrate himself. And you've heard before, Derwin, Justin, other guys have said, oh, we've tried paying the bill and he just won't let us do it.
That's how you build camaraderie, dude.
Yeah.
That's how when it's the fourth quarter and you're exhausted and you feel like you've been beaten to shit, you look it up and you say, I got to do it for that guy because that's how much I care about that guy.
Yeah.
That guy always takes care of me. He's a leader. You know what I mean? That's how you build camaraderie and the death before dishonor type mentality. So
yeah, no,
never want to let down your teammates.
I completely agree with that. Now let's get into the final. Yeah, smash the like button. Let's get into kind of the final topic of this, and then we'll have some fun towards the back end of this. But so the Chargers announced they're coming to San Diego for two practices, and your boy asked Jim Harbaugh the question.
Oh,
and
I actually wanted to see the video. You told me
Harbaugh
about it.
goes to Kimbe Mutombo on me.
Yeah.
And goes, no. So here we go. This is me asking Jim if there's a special reason why they're coming back to San Diego.
Last year, you guys practiced.
Watch them go through technique time. Watch how they attack the technique.
Last year, you guys had a practice in Camp Pendleton. This year, you guys are going down to the University of San Diego. Is this about extending an olive branch to the city of San Diego, especially with it being 8 years ago since the team left, or is this more about, you're just going back to your old stomping grounds? Because, I mean, I know your son graduated from Saints, another one from Coronado. Is this about extending an olive branch and how?
All those words you just said, no, none of that. It is all about just the great fans we have. I mean, the Charger fans and, those that come here, they see us. And sometimes they can't get to training camp. We want to take it to them. My memories of my dad took me twice. Once to a San Francisco 49er training camp when I was in high school, and once when me and John were in grade school at Bowling Green State University to see the Patriots and the Browns practice and scrimmage. It's just something you just remember always. We want to go to our fans. We want to go to our Chargers supporters, and they're everywhere. Maybe a coincidence that it's USD, and that's where I got my start. And maybe guilty as charged as recommending that we go practice at that Torero Stadium. Where got a lot of good friends, and a lot of great friends and Charger faithful in San Diego, and I want to go other places. I want to go other places. I've got a great note about going to Oxnard, but I want to go to Fresno. I think it's well documented, my love of Fresno.
Well documented.
Maybe someday retiring there in Fresno. We got great fans in Fresno, so hopefully that'll be on the docket next summer.
You
can retire
shit out of here. I don't want to go to Fresno.
You can retire after
it's
you get a trophy
over there.
Well, that's the craziest part. But I guess whatever.
Well, I mean, we've been out there and we've seen the homes and the prices and everything. I mean, it's crazy.
He was probably taken aback because you said your son graduated from Saints and Coronado. He was probably like, "Oh shit!
How the hell do you know all this?"
I know,
Talk to him. He's a great guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And besides, talk to everybody.
Exactly. That's what we got to do. Talk to everybody. And you know what? They're always nice to me.
Exactly.
Just so you know.
But I think first of all, I call bullshit. If we're playing the game bullshit, it's bullshit. And I wrote about this. If there's somebody that's going to build the bridge between both of them, it's Jim. And I've told you guys, and some of you guys are from San Diego. Like, I drive up there. I go to the border to pick up my jackass. He's going to get so pissed I called him a jackass. I go pick up a reporter buddy of ours. You guys have probably heard us speak about Dante before. Great guy.
The best.
And so then we drive up, pick up Eric, and then on the way up, we're driving up the let me do like driving up the I-5, driving up the I-5, and you see a bunch of Charger flags, guys in the car with jerseys. I see them from the border all the way up, and Dante will sometimes jump in the car and be like, "Yeah, I was talking like 5 or 6 Charger fans that are crossing because they're going to the game and stuff." And that's the thing. They have a lot of fans down here, and I'll be honest. I do not like that my bad. Let me leave it like this. Military appreciation. I love that. One day it's like that. The second day, I kind of would have loved if it would have been
open to the fans,
open to everybody.
Yeah.
And the problem why I think they didn't do that is for security reasons. Not like anything would happen, but there might be so many fans that would come out that they would have to ask some of them to like not come in.
Yeah.
But I actually
I
thought
think,
it would have been
I
really
think part of it too, obviously.
because last year at Camp Pendleton, they filled that thing up.
Yeah.
Like there was and then it was a little rough because like all the fans kind of just let themselves go onto the field after practice was over, and they all went after Justin and Khalil and Joey and all these guys, but I would have actually have loved to have seen something cool like that. And I hope that if the Padres are here in San Diego playing a game that night, it'd be cool to see one of those guys throw out the first pitch or do something like that. But I definitely think that both the city and the team need to just be big boys and start doing stuff again with each other. Because I get it, but it happened 8 years ago. There's still a lot of Charger fans. You don't want to alienate Charger fans. So
no, on top of that, they're starting to win again. They're starting to care about putting product out there. Like that's
you never left, did you?
No, I was pissed that they were okay with losing. That was my problem. But I think honestly, too, for now, I think part of it is because you said day 2s for season ticket holders only.
And
I think they did that also because the last thing they want is some PR nightmare of some asshole going in there and saying never should have left or with a sign or how they used to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that's what they're trying to avoid, I assume. But,
I don't, if there's fans from here from Fresno, I don't want them getting mad.
You don't want that smoke.
Angel,
shout out. 17th birthday. Damn, dude. Not even out of high school yet. Wow.
The thing, but I think it's also the other thing that I was telling you that what if too many fans I think they have a lot of fans showing up if they did it just openly. I hope if they do this again next year, it's open and do it.
Test drive.
Do it at UCSD. Do it at I don't know. Snapdragon's
well, I was gonna say Snapdragon because it's big.
Shit, no, it's too small.
What are you talking about? It's like 20,000, dude.
No, but like you can't do all your work on that little field, can you?
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, the field's too small.
I thought it's 100 yards, 100 by 50.
And then it's gonna be hot as shit, and you're gonna have there's no area for
my bad, Angel.
Yeah.
Angel.
Yeah, so
isn't he the one who goes to college classes sometimes and that's where he messages us from?
No. That's
Jorge.
Oh, Jorge's gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. No. Steel trap, I remembered.
But I generally think that I would love to see them come back next year and do one just open. I want to see what that's like. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have like the dude that used to fly the stupid helicopter or the airplane. That got really expensive, didn't it, bud? At the beginning, like at first that was cute because the San Diego media that hated the team was still going up there and just shitting on and taking pictures. And
there's
videos.
a plane flying a message over the
tailgate. Then all of a sudden they got too expensive, and then we just stopped it. I mean, that's the thing is that at first, it was bad, but then now fans don't.
I don't
care.
even think it was bad. They just zoomed in on a couple.
Well, but I'm saying but a lot of fans are still like fans of the team, and they're gonna drive up there and they're gonna have their party. Like, I was really surprised. I don't remember last year any team really taking over SoFi Stadium. Like the Charger fans did a really good job, I thought, last year.
Yeah.
Not letting that stadium be overrun. This year it'll be interesting because the Steelers come. I think, and the Eagles. Those two are going to be interesting to see what the stadium's like. But I mean, Charger fans have done a really good job with that stadium and the way they've done all that. All right, Dan. Now let's do. You like listening to Jim Harbaugh, don't you?
Of course, it's always
here. He is mic'd up.
It's like a WWE promo.
Okay. You're over rotating. That's putting your body in the path of the back. So you're stepping at 7 o'clock. Just step at 5, and then get your hop.
Listen to this next part.
Keep your body out of the.
Hold on. You're gonna be blown away.
Perfect. That's it. Yeah.
Here goes.
Yeah. 5 on a clock. Yeah.
Sometimes, it takes me a minute. I'm not, since I was a kid, we had the digitals.
Yeah.
So when you give me a time on the clock, it takes me a second. I have to think on it.
I understand that. Fair enough.
Jesus.
If you're going to the left, I'm gonna have to come up with a new analogy.
I'm telling you, the later you get.
Give me one. You got one for the new age? For the millennials? Gen Z or millennial?
I'm 2000. I expect that thing to come on back.
I don't know.
He's like, I don't care.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Learn the face of the clock. I don't care.
Here is I'm not gonna butcher his name. Here's Jim Harbaugh with DJ with the rookie undrafted free agent quarterback out of DJ.
Yuga Lavia or something like that.
Yeah. I don't want to butcher his name. I need to really sit down and I'm gonna start studying that one. Here he is with him, and Dan, you're gonna really like this. He really goes through some stuff to really help him out.
When you get that one guy in the middle and there's underneath coverage, he'll uncover for you.
Yes, sir.
So unless he gets bracketed, unless there's two guys covering him,
Kind of wait it out a little bit. Let him cover himself.
Yeah, let him uncover. Yeah. Instead of looking for something in the flat late or something deep late, it's off the timing. He'll uncover against a backer. Hey DJ, we just wanted addendum to that coaching point. It's like when you feel like you're out of options or you're off schedule, like just look to be your own check down and think A-gap scrambles until those are taken away, or you'll feel that you have to escape. But yeah, if your first reaction really needs to be that way, and coming up like this with your eyes up, it's almost a slow jog till you hit the line of scrimmage, and then you hit it, and you're giving yourself a chance to find a receiver, in the middle of the field uncovering, just to make it real like realistic. Just think, I'm out of options, be my own check down, with my eyes up, going toward the line of scrimmage, looking for a receiver to uncover. Here, DJ. Yeah, Marcus, just stand like at the 35-yard line. You're gonna be here, DJ. You're gonna be in the gun. Take a 5-step drop.
Sorry.
The ball's here. So I want you to take a 5-step drop, and I want you to hitch, and then go. Yeah, slow jog, and I'm gonna say go or throw. If I say throw, you throw it to Marcus. If I say go, you take off, all right? Go. Hitch, go! Go! Hitch, throw! It'd be just like that. It's a slow enough jog toward the line of scrimmage.
Dog. I don't know why they don't just put that out there instead of the stupid 10-minute Minecraft schedule release. No one gives a shit about that. Give me my coach.
It's so interesting to hear him break all that down.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I could watch Harbaugh for days, dude. I think it's just fascinating.
Before we go to another, Pablo, it's the art of Harbaugh. That's the thing. When you have a head coach that played the quarterback position for almost 20 years, that helps. I mean, the dude's played the quarterback position. He understands what they're going to see. He really is doing a service to these guys. Before we go to another mic'd up, Jim Harbaugh was asked what's one thing he would change about Justin Herbert.
Hall of Fame front office guy. And he said when he drafted Peyton Manning, he said Peyton cared so much. He called him a teeth clencher. He said sometimes we'd have to say, hey, Peyton, it's ice cream after practice. Lighten up. It's okay. And when I watch Justin Herbert, he cares so deeply that there are times I think he gets so frustrated with himself. He's too hard on himself. That's my view of it. Am I right? And if I am, how do you make sure Justin you got to have fun, Jim. You got to have fun when you coach. You have to have fun when you play. Do you ever worry that Justin is too hard on Justin?
No, don't change a thing. Do not change a thing about Justin Herbert. He does everything great. How much he cares? Yeah, he cares. He cares deeply. How much he trains? He trains the perfect amount. Everything that he does is don't change a thing.
That's like me on the podcast. That's exactly what I sound like when we have Justin Herbert talk. 100% dude.
Yeah, you could tell. I mean, their relationship is something great. And that's why I kind of wanted to see the mic'd up, but I watched him during minicamp, and Harbaugh really was like talking to the guys that, I mean, not necessarily the bubble, but like those lower tier kind. I mean, we're not going to Brandon Staley this. Like there's tiers,
Yeah,
There's
obviously, yeah.
the Khalil Macks, the Justin Herberts, the Derwin Jameses, and there's other tiers. He was talking more to the lower tier guys to try and coach them up and get them going. And that's the thing about Harbaugh. He's going to chat it up with everybody because he wants to see where these players are and
Angel, that would be hilarious.
We could have
That would be
Harbaugh
hilarious.
over Toes Herbert.
He'd say everything that guy said, just no. Everything that guy said, no.
Let's go to the last mic'd up. You're gonna love this because your boy's in it.
Smash the like button. Comment, subscribe.
Fueling stations right now.
Fuel up. Get some fuel. Stay ready for you. Gotta get ready. Let's say y'all don't like football. Y'all like fueling.
No thanks. As good as that looks. Peanut butter and jelly. That's one of my go-tos.
Like strawberry or grape?
I'll take either. Surprise.
Surprise me.
Surprise me.
Yes, sir.
I like them both.
Yes, sir.
Kid feeling better?
Yeah. They feeling better because I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
As long as you feeling better.
One of the 24-hour things?
Yeah. I'm scared. Because I ain't letting that hold me down.
Now you're the iron wall. The viruses bash against and crumble.
I would have played yesterday. We had a game. We good.
Oh, I know that.
Come on, bro.
Dogs. That's all I'm getting on these teams now. I'm excited. I can't get me to August, man. I'm tired of this shit. Get me to August. I want to see them already start going out there.
So this is like this is all Harbaugh centric, the back end of this, just because there's so much stuff. The Chargers social media team released that one time Jim Harbaugh played an 8-hour game of hide and seek with his kids.
We're not allowed to play hide and seek anymore in my family. I was a kid and we were at my Uncle John's house and we just decided to play a big game of hide and seek, and everybody, went and hid like in a closet or, outside, and my dad, and we didn't know at the time, decided to go underneath a table and somehow like suspend himself. And he used all the chairs to like put his body under the table. And nobody could find him for, I think it was 8 hours. People started getting worried and he won. We're not allowed to.
He's not going to lose no matter what the game is. By the way, Robert D, I might be heading to that Kansas City Chief game out there, so I'll keep you posted. We'll see.
This is what Jim had to say about some of these guys.
That rookie class last year set a high bar with Joe Alt, Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, let's start there because, there is no comparison being made, Ladd and Joe. That's a high bar. I wouldn't expect anybody to be able to accomplish what they did in their rookie season. That was otherworldly. And Joe, as good as he was last year, I call him right now one of our most ascending players. He is that much
scary,
better,
Dan?
that much improved. He's on track for a Hall of Fame type of career. The rookies that we have, they got the license. They got the ability to strive for that. That's been the message and been really excited how the guys are.
I like that Jim said that. That's good. That Jim is taking the pressure off the rookies. Like, hey, those two are anomalies, and I think all four. But the thing is that Tarheeb and Cam were good. Ladd and Joe were great.
Oh, yeah.
So he's trying to take the pressure off of those guys and really be like, okay, they were great, but these guys are different. So I completely understand why they're doing that. So I think it's good that Jim kind of took the
pressure off. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to take the pressure off and not have to worry about that. So I thought that was great.
100%. No, Senor Vivma, I will not go to Brazil. If I go to Brazil, I'd come back with a little lady to make the best soccer players I can. So, no, I'm definitely not going. No.
Okay.
Actually, let me scratch that. I do want to go see of course, I forget what it's called, but it's the largest statue of Jesus out there. I do want to go see that one day.
Yeah, it'd be on the other side.
Well, whenever. I do want to go see that one day.
Was Jim Harbaugh the inspiration of Ted Lasso?
Pablo maybe going to Dallas. TBD. Maybe going to Dallas. TBD.
What did you borrow from Coach Harbaugh?
I'm going to tell you exactly what he wrote. This is what I write. Hey, Coach, how are you? Writing you from jolly old England. This is September 4th, 2019. As we're in the middle of filming episode 2 of that Ted Lasso show I'm doing for Apple. So far, so good, I think. This emoji. I had a small, silly question for you. On game days, what do you actually wear to and from the stadium? I wear the same clothes every day, khakis and a blue sweatshirt. Same to the game that I coach in, and will wear the same thing to post-interview and then home as well. No shower unless it's really hot or really cold outside or raining. In that case, our equipment manager has a duplicate pair of everything I wear in my locker, so I put that on to wear back on the plane or home, and always a new pair of socks and a different underwear. There's always a locker with extra layers for cold games plus long johns. That's the routine for road games and home games. I pack a playbook, call sheet, and a toothbrush and wear the rest of what I need. As I like to say, I pack a toothbrush and a great attitude. I said, man, oh man, Coach, this is so friggin' helpful. Thank you for taking the time to holler back and giving such a thoughtful and thorough answer. Boom. That's it.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I probably won't watch the new season, but that's hilarious.
Lastly, you know your boy was in San Diego, right? Dominic Mysterio.
Oh yeah.
So,
dirty Dom, dirty.
Your video for your kids. Tell your kids they should have come. They should have come to the game. Sucks to suck.
He's such a rising star, dude. Although if he was a heel, I know this is going to be like asshole move. He should have worn a Dodger jersey just because he's a heel. That would have been, but like Padres obviously would never. Have
did you
gone.
see? I don't know if you saw this, but Tony Gwynn Jr. presented him with a Tony Gwynn. So he told Stephanie McMahon in a show that that he has always wanted a Tony Gwynn jersey, and Tony Gwynn Jr. presented him with a jersey when he was there at the stadium. So for him, that was a dream come true. I'm sure of it. So, but yeah, so that's essentially what the show has been today. Herbert's intensity. Gadsden, them returning to San Diego, and then obviously some mic'd up from Jim Harbaugh, and yeah, a lot of fun this episode. Folks, we will be off for a little bit. We'll be back the week before Chargers training camp to kind of talk about some of the questions. We'll have some guests on and stuff, and but for the next couple of weeks, guys, we will be going to multiple camps and getting good content. So make sure you check that out. We have a bunch of the bad blood, Pablo. It intensified last night for sure. So it only got better from there. But we will be shooting some content. So make sure you guys check that out. We have some really cool interviews coming up with some cool some good players. So make sure you check on that. It'll be better than the Derwin James video. I promise you guys. We've got a handle on that. So it's gonna be it's gonna be pretty cool. Robert M. That was Dominic Mysterio. That's the son of Rey Mysterio. He threw out the first pitch at the Padres the other night. So
Angel, thank you,
really
Angel.
excited to do that. Oh my God. But yeah, folks. So we're gonna have a lot of cool interviews. We're doing a lot of them tomorrow. Sunday we'll have some more. So make sure you guys tune into those. And yeah, a bunch of content rolling your guys' way. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know it was an early show, but we had a bunch of you guys in here, a lot of our regulars. So thank you to Robert Moretti. Thank you to Angel. Thank you to Pablo. Señor, vive moi. Robert D. Pablo, I said. Angel,
Take care,
I
Pablo.
said. Thank you to Blue Dream. Thank you to Robert D. Thank you to everybody who jumped in here. Don't forget to smash the like button. You guys are the best. Like I said, we'll be back the week before training camp, so make sure you guys set your notifications, and a lot of cool interviews coming up. I mean, Denzel Perryman, some other guys coming out there. So make sure you guys, Deion Henley, make sure you guys tune in. Again, thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. Dan, why don't you get us out of here?
Be a compa, tell a compa, and don't forget, John Cena is The Rock's bitch.